Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about losing motivation, and if you haven't seen my previous videos before, I think I'll link it up somewhere up here, but I talk about my first bouts of how I lost motivation, how I remotivated myself, and there was another one about am I ready to quit. So just to let you know, this whole journey of am I ready to leave and losing motivation has been happening for about a year now. You might just be needing a break. You might need to go on vacation, take some time off, and just reassess your life then. But if this is something that you have been thinking about over and over and over again, like me, for the past year almost, and you're starting to think maybe I should be planning my move out, or maybe I should be thinking about what I want to do with my career. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, like down below, comment, let me know what other videos you like to see, and let's get into the rest of the video. All right, if you're anything like me or my coworkers, we have told ourselves so many times, it's either I quit by the end of this year or I get fired. That's sadly normal. I used to hear that around the office a lot. We were having difficulties completing the simplest task. And I mean, if you need to email somebody, if you need to upload something, if you need to just do an assignment that is usually so easy, but you're just kind of like sitting back, you might be procrastinating a little bit and just so unmotivated to want to complete the work. And the first thing I want to say is that's completely normal. That doesn't make you a lazy worker. That doesn't mean that you're stupid. That doesn't mean that you are your negative thoughts. So I wanted to clear the air because I think that's something that we all just get trapped into our head, telling ourselves over and over again, which contributes to some stress, maybe some anxiety, and overall unhappiness. But something that I had to ask myself when the unmotivation became cyclical was, is it this specific firm? Is it this specific line of work that's making me unhappy? Or is it like accounting in general? And in my case, it was accounting. I put myself in other positions of, okay, if I were to go into the private industry and still be working on spreadsheets and doing similar types of work, would that be okay with me? And the answer I kept coming up with, my first instinct was no. Like, I really don't think accounting was meant for me long run, even if I go out of public accounting. Now, I'm not saying that that's the right path for everybody. Some of you might have, might like the security of accounting, might like the type of work, just not the firm that you work for, and that's completely okay. So if that's the case, just start evaluating your options there and make that lateral move outwards. But if you're in my situation, which is a little bit more scary because it's not as secure, you're taking more risks, but you know that if you were to look back 5 years from now, you would be disappointed in yourself for not switching out earlier. In my previous video where I talked about why I chose accounting in the first place, accounting was never meant to be my long-term goal. It was just something to kind of kickstart my career. Once I graduated college, I had a guaranteed job opportunity as well as an opportunity for me to just build experience, build my resume, so that in the future, if I ever really needed to fall back on something, I can always go back to accounting where it's guaranteed to have some money to provide me with what I want. A quote that kept me going, which I think relates to a lot of accountants out there, because not a lot of people go into accounting with this sense of passion and like, oh, I love sitting behind the desk and I love crunching numbers and I love the long work hours. There's usually something that we're trying to fund, a lifestyle that we're trying to fund. Maybe you have kids and loans that you have to pay off, and accounting is something that'll get you there quick. And if that's the case, I understand the grind. And the quote is, do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. So for a majority of us, including me, something that I had to do out of college was get that experience, start building my emergency savings fund, as well as contributing to my 401k and my Roth IRA and all of these other things that I needed to start building my investments in while I tried figuring out what my passion is. I didn't go deep soul searching for it right after I graduated college because I thought that was too risky of a game for me to play. And the reason why I went into accounting right after college is because I told myself that I'm young. I was 21 at the time. I'm young. If I need to stress out now, if I need to be the bottom of the barrel now, this age is the right time to do it. So from 21 to 23, I'm 23 now, I've been building up those 2 years of experience while also saving some money. When I started feeling sad, when I started realizing my unhappiness with this career and with the journey, that's when I started building this channel, as well as the other social media platforms that I'm on, Instagram and TikTok. And I found through me trying those things out that I like feeling like I'm directly helping people. For example, those of you who have reached out to me on my Instagram DMs or commented on TikTok or commented on my YouTube, these questions that we have where we're able to relate to each other, and I get to help people who may not have somebody in the office or in their life to talk to about these kinds of questions. I've realized, I guess, a sense of passion is to kind of create that environment for everybody where if they don't have somebody to turn to, I can be that. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who have messaged me. Thank you for trusting me with your stories and your fears and your vulnerabilities, because honestly, I relate to a lot of them. Please continue to do so. If you ever need anybody to talk to about this career path, please feel free to slide into my DMs, as I do check those every single morning and I try to get through as many of them as possible. My first advice would be to not guilt yourself into staying. And what I mean by that is I have received a lot of DMs about people who have gone to college just like me, majored in accounting for 4 years. Some of them even went further, got their MBA in accounting, and some even took it a step further than that, which is amazing, and they got their CPA license. What they tell me is, I just feel like I'd be throwing it all away, and I don't want to be wasting the money that I spent on it because I invested so much. And I guess I'll just stay because I already threw myself in there. And the first thing I realize is that nobody's telling you to stay. You're telling yourself that I know how much I don't like this job, but I spent so much money on it that I guess I'll just tell myself to stay. And honestly, I understand the mindset because I was there too. I spent so much money on the CPA exams. I didn't pass all 3 of them. I only passed 1, and then I took a break, and now here I am reevaluating if accounting is actually the right thing for me. Don't regret those. Don't regret those decisions. Those are like gold on your resume, on whatever you want to do in life, even if you want to switch over. Like that's something that not a lot of people can complete. When I hear things like that, it just sounds like you're the one who's guilting yourself to stay. Maybe you have family members and friends that are telling you the same things. I think those are the moments where you need to start doing a little bit of soul searching, whether you want to stay in accounting or whether you just want to jump out of public accounting life. And I'll be here for you. I will, if you want to talk to somebody about it, and we can help figure this out, because I want this platform not to be like me shitting on my experience, but rather to help guide you where you're meant to be. I don't want people to say, oh, you need to leave in order to be happy. No, everybody's journey is different, but one thing for sure is if you know that you're miserable at your job, there's no other benefit aside from the pay, then I think now's the right time to do a little bit more of soul searching. I really hope that this discussion kind of helped open up your eyes a little bit. And if you were looking for a sign to start looking for another job or to leave the firm in general, take this as your sign. Honestly, if you're taking the time to Google this sort of, or to go on my YouTube on this sort of stuff, then you already know that you're kind of looking to switch out of accounting. And guess what? That's okay. I love having you here. I really, really do. Last thing is, if you follow me on my Instagram and my TikTok, you've seen that I am thinking of putting out a podcast, and I'm looking for ideas / people who want to be interviewed with it. And it would be about this specific career, Big Four public accounting, how it's taken its toll on you, what you've learned from it. And even if you're no longer in accounting, I would really love to hear about that, because I myself am trying to look for a mentor on somebody who just jumped ship and did something completely different. So if you know anybody, comment down below, slide into my DMs, and we'll talk about it there. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, and give me a like, or comment down below and tell me what other videos that you would like to see. Follow me on my Instagram at MISS__nacional. and my TikTok. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I love having these types of conversations with you. Until next time, bye everybody.